Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. In today's video, we're going back to the professions of the verse, and we're going to talk about repair. So, let's talk about the ships of repair first before we go into kind of the details of repair. First up would be the Vulcan. This is a ship by Aegis, and we've talked about it for the refueling mechanic, but it also repairs and rearms. So the write-up on it says refuel, repair, rearm, become a one-person support crew with the Aegis Dynamics versatile Vulcan, supplying aid to pilots on the fly. Whether pinned down under heavy fire and in need of ammunition, low on quantum fuel after an ill-planned jump, or stranded in an unknown space with a busted thruster, a pilot in distress can always count on Vulcan and its cadre of drones to lend speedy, efficient assistance. Outfit your Vulcan with eye-catching livery and become a beacon of hope, even in the darkest, most treacherous corners of the verse. This ship is 38.5 meters long, 16.5 wide, and 10 tall, at least how they have concepted it. It's got a maximum cargo of 12, which probably is going to be mostly used on repair, refuel, rearm stuff. It's got good, decent speed for a ship of this type at 210 SCM speed. Sorry, I'm still getting over strep throat. Max crew of 3, a minimum crew of 1. So as you can see, this ship's got some pretty neat features as it's flying into a back of a Javelin in this picture. Pretty neat ship. Going to be capable of doing a lot of different things. This will probably be a very, it'll be a very popular ship for those who are wanting to be more of a support class in Star Citizen, because I can see people needing fuel a lot, people needing to be rearmed a lot, etc. Some of these pictures that they have for it show this thing operating in almost a frontline capacity in a war, so they're able to be out and about fighting and rearm, refuel, and repair ships on the go. So you can see here it has a couple of drones that are out. It looks like maybe refueling the Eclipse here and maybe going towards that Gladius. So it'll be interesting to see how they implement this in the future. We'll have to wait and see. So you can also see some of the specs that we already went over here. Again, repairing is going to be something that's pivotal within the verse. You're going to take all sorts of damage. This is a dogfighting game. This is a space combat game. There's going to be damage. Your ships are going to get damaged. Even if you're a freighter, you're probably going to take damage at some point or another, and you're going to need a repair ship. If you have a bigger ship, or you need the all-over repair, this is the ship you should take. It is the Crucible. The Crucible is a so-called flying toolbox. It's made by Anvil Aerospace, and it's the first dedicated repair ship. It's featuring a rotary control bridge and a detachable pressurized workspace. The Crucible is versatile mobile garage equipped with repair arms, a drone operations center, and all the equipment needed to overhaul a damaged craft back into fighting shape. It's going to be 90 meters long, 50 wide, and 20 tall. Of course, all that could be changed whenever the ship comes in the game. Has a cargo capacity of 230. Doesn't talk about speeds, a minimum crew of 3 and a max crew of 8, or at least that's the recommended. This thing also has 2 size 4 turrets, so it's going to have some decent weaponry to protect it while it's doing its job. And then of course it's got the utility stuff, which will be the arms and stuff like that. This thing is supposed to be able to work on ships of all sizes. So you can see it has the garage bay for like the fighter size ships. They can go and park in there. You can close it up and work on it with the arms or with personnel. There are going to be handheld repairs. We'll get to that here in a little bit as well. The bigger ships, like capital ships and stuff, you're going to detach this garage bay because it's fully detachable, and you would approach the capital ship without the garage bay on, as you can see in this mock-up, and it has the repair arms there that will be doing a lot of the work. It'll also have drones that can help do some of the work as well. And everything will be controlled from the bridge area, which is pretty neat the way they have the bridge area laid out. That bridge can rotate forward to backward. As you can see, the pilot and co-pilot seats there overlooking the garage with the Hornet in it. I really like this ship. It's really cool. They don't offer it for sale very often. I was glad to be able to pick one up when I did. It's going to be a must-have for any fleet. I mean, you're going to need this along with your fuel tankers and, of course, your fighter craft and everything else. But if you have a fleet of ships, or you're going to be participating with a fleet, you're going to have more than just one of these ships. You're going to need more than one in the fleet. It's going to be pivotal. You'll be able to repair all sorts of damage with these ships. And when I say all sorts, if you're missing an entire wing, it'll be able to reproduce a wing. And we'll go into the mechanics of how all that works. But you can see here it's up next to an Idris, and it's looking at the damage there on the Idris. And you can see one is underneath the Idris doing some repairs. It looks like maybe to the railgun. So it's going to be heavily used for repairs of all ships and sizes. And I think it's going to be a really cool ship. The mechanics for repairing are going to be interesting. They actually put an article out on the RSI webpage on how that's going to work. So let's get into that a little bit. Excuse me. So it's called the Design Notes, Ship Repair and Maintenance. Space is a hostile place, and even the most skilled pilots will need to have their craft patched up from time to time. Fortunately, there are a number of options available to citizens to get themselves back up and running. Star Citizen's repair system is going to work in conjunction with the engine's detailed damage model to create an intuitive and engaging gameplay for players wishing to pursue a career in ship repair, or for pilots to execute quick field repairs. The basis for the repair technology in Star Citizen are tools equipped with multi-purpose lasers that can trim away damaged material or center construction material injected into component's frame, rebuilding its structure. The repair roles. So any ship with the repair capabilities have two roles that must be filled to ensure a successful repair job: the repair arm operator and the repair task manager. The repair arm operator is responsible for control of the robotic repair arm, like you would see on the Crucible, mounted with a multi-purpose laser and material injector system. The repair arm is capable of carrying out all manner of repair tasks. The repair arm is the only player-controlled method of fully restoring a ship to 100% health, but requires skill, knowledge, and coordination with the repair task manager to do so effectively. The other role is the repair task manager, and you relay detailed damage information to the repair arm operator. It designates repair task to be undertaken and is responsible for the allocation of materials to satisfy part of the reconstruction requirements. The repair task manager, you need to initiate the repair workshop, or initiate workshop repairs. You'll first have to use the damage assessment interface to gather damage information and prepare for repair task required. So damage assessment, it's going to work by like a color-coded display. So red means fully damaged, and closer to green means not damaged. When you get to green, it's not damaged. So that's how it's going to be set up. I'm not going to go into all the details. There's a good article about it there. But you'll be able to tell how damaged something is using the damage assessment tool, and it'll relay that information using colors. A hull breach is obviously red, and no damage at all is green. The material panel is another part of the repair mechanic. Repairs taking place in a workshop require the consumption of raw construction materials gathered through mining, scavenging, and trade. The repair task manager can assign different materials according to the repair task at hand via their console's material panel. Depending on the repair job, certain types of quantities of materials are required. When a component is selected, these requirements are displayed in repair compound section of the material panel as slots that need to be filled from a repair ship's material stock. Each material is graded to reflect how effective it is when assigned to a slot and how it will affect the repair procedure. To get optimum results, the task manager must balance the arm operator's requirements versus the value of the materials used. Once all materials have been assigned, the repair arm operator can initiate the reconstruction process. So worse materials are going to take longer for the repair, and it may not be as good of a quality, so it may not last as long. Whereas better materials will be less time and better quality. So the material will last longer, once it's in place. And it gives you these little graphs and stuff. But anyways, reconstruction. So the event that a ship or part of a component has been entirely detached or destroyed, it must be reconstructed. To do this, the task manager selects the missing part from the damage assessment panel and assigns the materials as normal. Once the composition is confirmed, the part's frame is automatically constructed by the repair arm. The process is entirely automatic, using patterns from Repair Terminal's database for reconstruction. After the framework has been reconstructed, the player can then use patching to build the surface up as normal. Before reconstruction can started, the attachment point must be cleared of any obstruction debris by the repair arm operator. Whilst an obstruction is present, the part appears as red hologram on the damage assessment screen with the extraneous material highlighted for removal. So none of this stuff is in the game yet, but this was written up back in 2015, so they have a really great idea on how they want all this to be. The repair arm operator is going to be responsible for stripping stuff away from the hull so that you can make the proper attachments and repairs. Then patching, which is going to be the actual building of a reconstruction of that part of the ship, which you can overexpose that part, meaning that you could have it exposed to the laser, or I don't know how to describe it exactly, but you don't want to have an underexposed or an overexposed part because it'll make it deteriorate a lot quicker. You'll use up your stuff, your materials a lot quicker when you do that. But yeah, let's go down to field repairs. So you have the personal multi-tool, which everybody knows about at this point in the game, that you can do cutting and mining with, which there's really no cutting in it yet. But you're also going to be able to do repairs. It's going to have the ability to do patch jobs and small fixes, at least enough that you can get back in space and get back to a repair facility. It's going to be important that you carry one of these around, especially if you have a smaller ship, because you're going to need to be able to patch that thing up in case something goes wrong. Now you're also going to be able to make repairs depending on the component damages by swapping components out, fixing them up, switching them out with different components, etc. They talk about how a lot of the fighters might have these coolant rods that are going to be the same between the Saber and the Hornet. So if you have a few of these, then you should be able to swap them out without too much problem, because they're going to be pretty universal the way that they work. But the subcomponents are going to be things that will hook up your components, such as a shield generator, to the ship itself. So you may have a capacitor or an EM insulator or a kinetic barrier that goes along with that shield generator, and you may have to replace the subcomponents when the component gets damaged. So you have module racks. That's pretty much what they have now, where they have the components in there, the modules, whatever you want to call them, as far as shield generator, power generator, probably life support, just the different types of components that they're going to have on all the ships. But that's pretty much going to be repair play in a nutshell. I know I went through some of this quickly. That article's on the RSA website. So if you're interested in being a repairman in the verse, I highly recommend you go read that article multiple times so that you know how the mechanics are laid out to work. Now, all of that could be subject to change, but I think they have it pretty well written up to where you're going to see it operate very similar to the way they just wrote it up. So it should be pretty cool. It should function pretty close to that. They have a great idea on how they want to do it. So I would not be surprised when they finally put these repair ships in the game that they are going to be fully operational, which is a little different from the way they've done things in the past. So guys, if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon to let you know when I do more of these. I've got a subscriber giveaway going on March 7th during a live stream on Twitch. That information's down below. If I get enough subscribers on Twitch, I'll do another immediate giveaway as well. So we'll have possibly 2 giveaways. So check that out. My org's always looking for people. So if you want to join my org, that's down below as well. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.